Great that you've made it to this video where I'm going to teach you about our option training program, and I'm going to give you some really good information right now. When you're sourcing a property option, so you're taking a property under your control for a period of time to turn it into a profit without spending a lot of money on that, here's the processes that we have to go through. First off, you have to learn how to locate that property. So what areas will allow subdivision? Where are council endorsing and supporting higher density in residential or regional or rural Australia? When we do that then and we locate the property, we have to do what's called a cash flow analysis. We have to make sure that at the end of the day, for little input, you're going to get a profit out of that job, out of that project. Step number 2 is we have to communicate with the landowner. So we've got to let him know that we're there, we're available, and we have something for him. When we've done that then, we have to come along to the owner and we have to deliver our proposal, step 3. So we have to be able to articulate in a very easily understandable way what it is we want to do with that property and how the owner is going to get a financial benefit by assigning some of that property under option to you for you to sell into the market. Step 4 is we have to obtain an option. As part of the option training program, we give you the option contract document as well. So everything that you need is in there. With that, our next choice then is that we have 2 things that we can do. We have to make one of 2 choices. We can come along with that property that we've just taken under option and we can develop that property. We can sell that property into the market. Now, in some of the areas that us and our students have worked, the average block of land, so a rear block on somebody's property, for example, is worth about $300,000. Somebody buys that land for $300,000, they go to a builder, and they build a 4x2 for $180,000 or $190,000, so they have an all-up $500,000 4x2, and you've supplied the land through your option with your landowner. And then you can profit up to $100,000 on that, and in a lot of cases more than that. So I am being conservative in the approach. You can make more on an option for certain. Or you can take choice 2. Choice number 2 is that you have the property under option. It's your option for 12 months to 5 years. You can do what you want with that property under the terms of the option. You can research small builders in the area that build in this area where you have your option. You can present your proposal to the builder to sell the builder your option on the land. So you're selling him literally your contract. You can then assign the contract under the option that is provided to you as part of your program with us. And you can benefit up to $30,000 on that without having to do any of the development at all. Let me show you the maths behind how that works. This is a typical property option opportunity. This entire section here represents your typical house and land package. Your typical 500, 600, 700, 800 metre, 1,000 square metre lot in any capital city in Australia, in an area where council supports subdivision, higher density. The black section here represents the current owner's home. The blue section here represents the rear land that he's either not using or is happy to sell to you under option. We do our research before we go into this option, and then we approach council and we get an indication that this property can be subdivided. Once we have the indication, and we will have that work done, by the way, we will teach you how to have that work done before you go to this area and waste your time. So you know that when you get an option, it's workable, it's viable, it's going to happen. So we get an indication from council. Once we have these 2 together, we come along and we teach you how to locate and find a builder. When you find a builder generally makes his profit on the build component. So he makes his profit on a home by building a home. You're going to learn how to sell him your option, and you're going to sell him the option for him to build his home on this land, and you're going to sell it for $30,000, and you are out of the option finished. You don't give credit. The builder has to pay you for the option the day he takes ownership of the option, and he does the subdivision, and he pays the landowner for the land. Let me show you the mathematics around it. In most capital cities, in an area that can be subdivided, it's demanding higher density, whatever that might be. Your typical block might sell for $300,000, your typical rear block. In some areas it's $400,000, just depends on where you're working and operating. You're going to pay the landowner $150,000 for that block that's worth $300,000 because you're bringing a big solution to the landowner. For this landowner to find somebody to subdivide their land without them having to pay for that subdivision is virtually impossible. So you're bringing a solution. And that's why you're going to pay $150,000 for a rear lot that's worth $300,000 because he can't do the subdivision himself or he hasn't got the money to do it. So we're focusing on that market. To do that subdivision, to facilitate it and initiate it and finish it, would cost about $50,000 for water, power, sewer applications and so on and so forward. That $50,000, you can pay that $50,000 and you can do that subdivision and then you can sell that land into the market and make a profit on that. If you don't want to, you can take that and you can sell the whole package to your builder. Watch this. The land is going to sell for $300,000. You owe the landowner $150,000. The subdivision costs $50,000. That's $200,000. If you do the subdivision, that leaves a profit to you of $100,000. If you sell the option to the builder for $30,000, that leaves the builder $100,000 profit less your $30,000. So he's now going to profit $70,000 on the land component, plus he's also going to make a profit on the build component. That for a builder is a very viable venture. He's going to make the money here and he's going to make the money here. Now let me quickly finish off with regional and rural Australia. You're most likely living in your normal 4x2 or living in a suburb somewhere, and that land at some stage in the past was farming land. Farming land or UCL, unallocated crown land, but it was unused. Here's a regional development opportunity. Around this property here, this is a farmland, around this property here are subdivisions. People are living in 4x2s, residential blocks. This land is next for development in the future. This represents the farmer's house. This represents development potential land. This can be chopped up into 20, 30, 40, 50 housing lots. We take this lot in our program under option and we sell the option to develop that land to a builder who's going to do a large scale subdivision. Let me talk to you for a moment about Villiers Street. So we took two 1 acre properties in Villiers Street that could be chopped up and subdivided into a 20 lot subdivision. We went to council and asked the council, would they approve a subdivision on this lot here? We'd already done our research. We teach you that in the program. We'd already done our research and we know that this is subdividable. We then took this whole package here and we sold the whole package to the local builder for him to build 20 house and land packages, and we sold that option for $140,000 without having to put any of our own money into this at all. That's what options are about. Watch out for the 9th series video. If you want some awesome free content, please go to our webpage, download all of the free information there, come along to one of our free workshops, we'll talk to you all about it. Have a great day.